Welcome back to Headlines, the news that sucks a little bit less than the regular news. In today's update, Mike Johnson is not rich and he goes to church. And he calls himself a politician. There's talk of sending U.S. troops to I'm sure that will really help. And Gavin Newsom flattens a kid in China. I mean, he laid him out. I'm Wes Austin, and these are your headlines. They called Mike Johnson a Christo-Fascist. Christo-Fascist. Christo-Fascist? Christo-Fascist. Christo-Fascist. Many in the media have been criticizing Johnson because of his Christian faith. Jen Psaki said he was a Christian fundamentalist.
His views on policy are essentially what you'd expect from a religious fundamentalist.
The Daily Beast called him a Christo-Fascist, and on the Colbert Show, Adam Kinzinger compared him to the Taliban. So apparently, if you believe in the Bible, you're a nut job. But if you believe that men can have babies, you're just progressive. You know, I think the left would be a lot more accepting of Christians if we just said that being a Christian was a gender. I mean, we already have 72. What's one more? What's stopping us from just requiring that people in public office have religious views that we approve of? I mean, besides Article 6, Clause 3 of the Constitution, the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, the Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I mean, besides those, what's stopping us? If believing in a higher power is crazy, I guess I'd rather be nuts than live in a world where chest feeding is a word. Mike Johnson is not a multimillionaire, and we can't have that in Congress. An article in the Daily Beast states that Johnson has never listed a bank account on his financial disclosure. He doesn't list a single asset at all, and he doesn't appear to have money stashed in any investments. It then suggests that Johnson lives paycheck to paycheck. We can't have a Speaker of the House that relates to what regular Americans are dealing with, or he might actually care about what regular Americans are dealing with. Okay, that might sound good, but what about Big Pharma, Wall Street, the military-industrial complex? Who's going to watch out for their interests in the House? See the problem now? How can Johnson run the House when he doesn't even know the basics of how Washington, D.C. works? You're supposed to profit off of your position in Congress. He doesn't even know the fundamentals. He's clearly not utilizing the most basic congressional benefit there is: insider trading. We're not sending U.S. troops to The United States and its partners have been discussing sending an international peacekeeping force into after the war. The White House said that we would not be putting U.S. troops on the ground in which totally means they're planning on putting U.S. troops in. If we send troops to no one tell Ukraine. We're going to have to keep that on the down low. Otherwise, they're going to want us to send troops there. And then, where does it end? Sending U.S. troops to which we are not planning on doing, should be fine because our track record of sending U.S. troops to places like the Middle East is actually pretty good. I mean, except for Afghanistan, and Iraq, and Libya, and Lebanon, and Somalia. Okay, looking back now, they were all huge mistakes, but I'm sure this time will be different. This time it will go well. Newsom went to China to break the ice, and by ice, I mean a small child. In a recent trip to China, Gavin Newsom met with Chinese leader Xi Jinping, had meetings about climate change, and steamrolled a young boy. Starting off with a spinning the ball on your finger, fail. Good. Ooh, he tackles the boy. Very unorthodox. He spanked him. The kid got spanked by Newsom, literally. Newsom proved that Biden isn't the only Democrat that can fall on his face. And he also showed that he's not afraid to spank the Chinese. He must have learned that from Eric Swalwell. Based on this interaction, it does appear that Newsom's foreign policy agenda would use the Kramer method. Apparently, Newsom thought the best way to bridge the US-China gap was to level the playing field, starting with the children. Thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and we'll see you next time.